All right. Welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to focus on feet and ankles. They're very, very important. Not only, we use them, when we walk, but they help us. Our feet are part of our proprioception system. They give input to our brain where we are in space. So our feet are very important to that, as well as um, to balance. Our ankles and our feet are responsible for a large part of our balance. So we want to work on keeping our feet and ankles nice and strong. So today you're going to want a chair, a block, and a firm blanket that you can fold up, such as like I have a little Mexican blanket over there. Those work perfect. And I'm going to hop back here to my mat, and we're going to start on the floor. And we're going to start in hero's pose. Hang on, I'm just going to make sure everybody's muted quick. We're going to start in hero's pose. So you can either use a block, a bolster, or you can fold up a blanket to get to your desired comfort level. Or you can sit, if you have no problem sitting in hero's pose, you don't have to use a prop. But I definitely have to use a prop in hero's pose. So hero's pose is basically sitting on your knees. So you sit on your knees and your shins, and sitting back onto your feet. So your feet, the tops of your feet are flat on the floor. I need lots of props to get into this because I have very tight hamstrings. But some of you can probably just get right into hero's pose, no problem. And if this starts to get too intense for you, you are welcome to come out of hero's pose and just come to a comfortable seated position, which might be cross-legged or on a chair, whatever is most comfortable for you. But we're going to start here. And so what we're doing when we're in hero's pose is we are stretching through the top of our ankles. It's something we don't stretch often enough. You don't often, often we're standing on our feet or we're sitting in a chair. We don't often flex our feet back. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. And so we're getting a nice stretch through that top of your foot, through the ankle, and into your shin. And again, use all the props you need to get you here. If it kind of hurts the top of your feet, even if you're propped up, you can always like roll a blanket, put it under the feet to give them a little padding. And again, if this just isn't a doable pose for you, come out of it, come into cross-legged or a chair, seated on a chair, whatever you need to do to get comfy. And then we're gonna sit up nice and tall. So I'm actually on a bolster and I have a block under my sit bones. So I'm actually up quite a ways. Like I said, I have those tight hamstrings that just prohibit me from doing that tight bend of the legs. But we're going to stay here for a little bit. So get yourself nice and comfortable. We're going to sit up nice and tall through our spine, shoulder blades back and down. And just start to connect to your breath. Just settling in from whatever you were doing earlier today. Connecting to the natural rhythm of your breath. Allowing your mind to begin to still, as still as it can be. We're human. Our minds are always kind of on overdrive, but the intention is that we try to quiet our minds and not getting upset if we can't. Some days it's easier than other days. And take a few nice long inhales with long exhales, calming down our central nervous system. And take one more breath here. And let's take a big inhale together as a group. We can bring our arms in. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, release. Let's do a few lateral bends. And again, if this starts to get too intense for you, please, come into a comfortable position. And bring up that right hand. We're going to inhale as we bend to the left. Exhale to center, alternating the hands. Inhale to the right. Exhale to center. Inhale left. Exhale center. Inhale right. Exhale center. One more each side. Inhale left. Exhale center. And inhale right. Exhale center. Let's do a cat-cow, seated here in our hero's pose. Bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale as you broaden through the chest. Exhale as you round your back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. It's always nice to explore positions or explore poses in different positions because we tend to do things the same way and our bodies need variety. One more inhale. Exhale, hold this one here and go ahead and wiggle those hips a little bit and come back up to center. Now I'm going to come into cross-legged. You can continue to stay here if you like, or you can join me in cross-legged as soon as I can get my feet to move again. All right. Let me turn my bolster. All right. So some fun facts for you. Our feet and ankles have 28 bones, 33 joints, 112 ligaments, and 34 muscles. That's just in our feet and ankles. So, isn't that, it really brings home why it is so important to strengthen our feet and ankles. There's a lot going on down there, right? And, I wrote down another fun fact. Our calf muscles help us with our heart. And when we pump our ankles, so we're pumping our ankles with our calf muscles, that pumping motion helps bring blood flow to our body. I thought that was a really cool little tidbit when I was taking my anatomy class this weekend. All right, so now let's go ahead and do some twists. Again, you can still be in heroes, you might be in cross-legged, you might be on a chair. And we're just going to do some moving twists. So we're going to inhale, bringing our arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale. And then exhale, just release your hands down. All right, now we're going to move into child's pose. And we're going to take a blanket. And I want you to kind of fold up your blanket. And we're going to put it under the tops of our feet in child's pose. So come into child's pose and put this under the tops of your feet as they rest on the floor in child's pose. So we're just going to explore our feet and ankles a little bit. And you are welcome to use your bolster in child's pose. Might have to open it up another notch here. Got to find the right width so that it can get under both feet. There we go. All right. So coming into child's pose with your feet resting on the blanket. And just breathe here. And know that this is always available to you. You know, if you struggle with the tops of your feet being sensitive, you can always bring in a blanket for under your feet when you're in child's pose or in tabletop as well, if you have sensitive feet. And then let's go ahead and push up into tabletop. And again, go ahead and keep that blanket under your feet. So from tabletop, let's do a few cat cows here. So inhale, broadening through the chest and the cow. And exhale as we round into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then come back to center. And now I invite you to take that blanket and put it into your knees in tabletop. I don't know about you, but I'm on literally a cement floor. So this feels really good on my knees. Now we're going to just take that right foot back and bring our toes into the floor and give us a nice little stretch. Feel that nice stretch. You're kind of pushing those toes into the floor, stretching your leg back, feeling it through the back of the ankle, up the calf, up the hamstring. And then release. And then bring your left foot back and do the same thing, pushing those toes in, straightening and stretching. So you're digging your toes in and kind of pushing your heel to the back wall. Feeling that nice stretch. And release. And then the right leg again. Release. And the left. And release. Then now go ahead and bring your right foot forward, coming into a low lunge. And let me grab my block. If you're like me and have a bigger chest or a belly or anything gets in the way, you can always bring your block and bring both hands to the inside of that leg, or you can bring a hand to each side of the foot. We're just gonna rock forward a little bit, bringing our knee past our ankle, feeling the stretch through our hip flexor on the left leg. And that top of your foot is flat on the floor. And then come back, and then you're gonna rock back, stretching your leg out in front of you. So this is called the runner stretch. Feeling that stretch through the back of your leg as you rock backwards. And you should also feel, if you keep your foot flat on the floor, you should feel that nice stretch through the top of your ankle as well. And just breathe here. Always remembering to breathe. And then coming back to neutral. Then go ahead, bring your foot back. And then we'll bring our left foot forward. Same thing on this side. Starting just in a low lunge. Work on engaging, taking notice if your knee is flopping in or flopping out as you're in the low lunge, trying to keep that knee over your ankle and your foot. And then go ahead and rock forward, stretching the right hip flexor. And then go ahead and rock back. And you can even move your foot up a little into our runner stretch. And coming back up to the lunge. And then moving your foot back. And then we're back into tabletop. All right, from here, we're gonna come into down dog. So you have the option to either come up into a full down dog, or you can bring in your chair. I'm gonna bring in my chair. All right. So coming into your variation of down dog, feeling those sit bones reaching to the sky, your heels digging into the floor, pulling your thighs, to the back of the room. Now we're going to play with our feet positioning. So traditionally we do down dog with our feet straight ahead, right? But how does it feel if we turn our toes out? Doing down dog with our toes pointed outward. Mine are kind of pointed to 2 and 10 o'clock. And again, trying to keep those legs straight. Just observe the different sensation. You're stretching slightly different muscles, right? And then now go ahead and straighten them again. Now let's turn our toes in so our heels go out. Again, just observe the different sensations. And go ahead and straighten them again. Now from here, just kind of rock forward and backwards using the chair for balance. You can bring your feet in just a little bit more even. If you were doing traditional down dog, I invite you now to bring in a chair. And let's just rock to our toes and then our heels. And even trying to come up onto those tippy toes and then really lift our toes as we come back onto our heels. We're using our chair for support here, so we can really get a deeper bend than you might be able to standing unassisted. And a nice stretch. And then coming back to center. And then going ahead and standing up. And now I want you to turn your chair around. We're going to use the back of the chair for a bit. We're just using it for stability. So as we've mentioned, the ankle is a huge part of our balance and stability. And some balance problems can come from weak ankles. So a very simple way to start strengthening our ankles is to do one-legged stands. So we can hold on to the chair, shift our weight to our right foot, and you can just simply lift the left knee, or you can come into a tree variation. But you can also just simply lift this left knee. And again, keeping that hip from popping out. We want to keep that hip straight. But just simply balancing on one foot. It's a great way to strengthen our ankle. Now go ahead, if you're brave, and you bring your hand off the chair, because we do want to get some wiggle and wobble. When we wiggle and wobble a little bit, that's giving our brain a lot of feedback. And so this chair is here. You can always grab the chair, but go ahead and try and bring both hands up. That wiggle you feel in your ankle, that's giving your brain feedback about where you are, and it's giving the muscles feedback. If you want, you can bring your hands up. Bring them to heart center. And then go ahead and bring back to the chair. Bring the left foot down. Go ahead and give the right one a nice wiggle. A little shake. And even just kind of come up on your toe and just kind of give that ankle a nice little stretch. You can do some little ankle rolls. Make sure you go both directions. And then if you like, you can move it to the other side. It's sometimes easier to have it on the side you're balancing on. And so again, coming to standing, need to get a little further, and then shifting our weight to the left and lifting our right. And again, you can come into a tree variation or just simply lifting the knee, watching that hip, and bringing both hands up. Feeling the little wiggles and jiggles of your ankle, embracing them. Go ahead and bring them overhead if you like. And even to heart center. Side. And again, back to the chair. And release. And go ahead and shake out that left leg. And I'm stretching that left ankle. And some rolls. And the other way. Okay. You can move your chair out of the way for a little bit. And let's come back to standing. Now let's just take a moment to get into a really powerful mountain. Looking down on our feet, lifting the toes, spreading them out, dropping them down one at a time, pinky to big toe. Engaging the glutes and the quads, engaging the belly, shoulders back and down, hands forward, pulling that head and chin back just a little bit. Breathe here. Feel the strength in your mountain pose. Just like observe your legs. How do they feel? We just did some balancing. We did some stretching. Does one side feel more powerful than the other? Do they feel equal? Just observe. No judgment. Just observing. Checking in with your body. Go ahead and allow your eyes to close or soften your gaze. Breathe. Go ahead and open your eyes. Now let's do some of our prayer breaths. Keeping our bottom portion of our body in a strong mountain pose. Inhale, bringing hands up to heart center. Exhale, lace the fingers, lift the elbows. Inhale, palms to the sky. Exhale, arms float down. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, lace and lift. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, release. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, lace and lift. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, lace and lift. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, release. All right, now let's give everything a nice shake. Shake, shake, shake. Okay, I'm bringing our feet back together. We've done these before. We're gonna come up on our tippy toes and then come back on our heels. So inhale, arms overhead, up on the tippies. Exhale, coming back, bending the knees, lifting the toes. Inhale, up. Exhale, coming back to our heels. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming back to our heels. Inhale, coming up to our toes. Exhale, back to our heels. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. One more. Inhale, up. And exhale back. And release. Now let's come into a chair pose. And we're going to explore rocking on our feet a little bit. So bring our feet together. Inhale, bringing our arms up and sitting back like we're coming into a chair. And now from here, let's kind of go back and forth, toes and heels. Just a nice rocking motion. It can be a small motion or a big motion. And then on your next inhale, coming all the way up, and exhale, arms come down. Give everything a little shake. All right, let's come back down to the floor. And you can go ahead and sit on a bolster or a blanket. And you'll want your block handy. And we're going to start cross-legged. Just sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to come into butterfly. So bring the soles of our feet together. The knees flop outward. So you have nice and tall through your spine. Exhale as you gently forward fold, keeping the back straight. Breathing here. Inhale, coming back up. Now we're going to take the block and put it between our heels. Between the soles of our feet. And again, sitting nice and tall. Inhale. And as you exhale, forward fold. And inhale, coming all the way up. Now we're going to turn the block onto the low setting. And let's bring our feet up on the block. And inhale, tall. Exhale, forward fold. Remember to breathe. Inhale, coming up. And let's release our feet and stretch them out on the floor a little bit. Next, we're going to come onto our back and we're going to want our chair in front of us on the mat. So we're going to bring our legs up onto the chair. So go ahead and prepare your chair. So go ahead and come onto your back, feet up on the chair. Now just take a few moments here and just go ahead and relax. Just connecting to your breath. We're not coming into Shavasana yet, but just allowing our bodies to settle in. Go ahead and start doing some ankle rolls. Going in one direction first. Do about 10 ankle rolls in this direction. And then switch direction. Make sure you're doing nice big ankle rolls. You're really stretching that entire ankle. I almost said wrist. Your entire ankle. Now, if you've ever had plantar fasciitis, which I hope you haven't, but I had the unfortunate pleasure of having it about 10, 12 years ago. And they actually had me do so with my ankle rolls, I spelled the alphabet. So I did A, B, C, D with both ankles. And that was my physical therapy, because that way you stretch every single direction of your ankles. And I thought that was really fascinating. It was really hard in the beginning, but that's a really good ankle stretch series. Okay, now we're gonna flex and extend our feet. So toes to the nose and toes away, like you're pushing on the gas. Toes to the nose and away. Flex and extend. Now, you might notice that your calves, or not your calves and your shins and the sides, like everything might be feeling it doing this. And that's good. We don't often stretch our ankles and the low extremities enough. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give them all a little shake. Now go ahead and wiggle the chair away from you. And we're gonna come with our feet on the floor and our knees up. And go ahead and do some windshield wipers, left and right. And then bring your feet out and let your knees drop in. And just little wiggles or circles. Just a little different stretch. Then bringing your feet back in, knees up, arms at your side, palms down. We're gonna come into bridge. So inhale as you lift up. Now, if you can, try and come up onto your toes in bridge. Feel that different stretch. And exhale, lower down. Just observe how you're just stretching different parts of your legs, or just doing things a little different than we normally do them. And again, we're going to inhale, lifting up. Now coming on to your heels, lifting up your toes. Exhale, lower down. And we're going to do one more. Now this time, before we come up, we're going to turn our toes out. Just a little different variation. Inhale as you come up. And exhale, lower down. And again, go ahead, do some little windshield wipers. And then go ahead and bring your soles, your feet together, reclined butterfly. Begin to connect with your breath as we slowly prepare for Shavasana. Beginning to quiet the body and mind. Then go ahead and extend your legs out. And go ahead and make yourself comfortable. You may need a blanket under your knees or under your head. Feet about mat width apart, arms at your sides, palms up, shoulder blades tucked under. And begin to quiet your body and mind. As we come into final relaxation pose. Slowly bringing your awareness to your breath. Feeling the chest rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. Feeling your belly soften on the inhale and gently contract on the exhale. Allowing your toes and your feet to relax. And your ankles and your knees. Your hips and your low back. Your chest, your shoulders. Your elbows and your wrists. Your fingers and your hands. Relaxing your neck and your throat. And release any tension from your jaw and your tongue. Relaxing your eyes and your forehead and the crown of your head. Allowing your body and mind to come to stillness. Because we're human, thoughts may come into our mind, but simply release them without any judgment. And our body may want to fidget and move, but resist the urge and keep your body still. And connect with your breath. Gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Feeling the stillness in your body. Bring your awareness back to your chest as it rises and falls with your breath. Take a long inhale with a long exhale. And gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. And very slowly opening your eyes. And gently roll to one side, allowing your head to rest in your arm. And use both hands to slowly push yourself up, with your head coming up last. Make your way to a seated, comfortable position. And let's take 3 final breaths together. And on the last breath, I invite you to join me with an Om. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Om. And with your hands at heart center, give gratitude to your body, mind, and spirit. And give thanks to yourself for being here today and honoring your practice. And I give you thanks for practicing with me today.